All right, for Unit 5, Lesson 3, we are going to be discussing still circles, and we have a few new vocab terms that we're going to be talking about with circles. So the first are angles inside of a circle. And there are two specific three types of angles we're going to be talking about today. The first is a central angle, and that's located or starts at the center of the circle. So the vertex is at the center of the circle, and it goes to the endpoints it goes to the edges of the circle. So an angle with the vertex at the center. That's a central angle. Now we have an arc, and an arc is just a portion of a circle. So the shorter arc between 2 points is the minor arc. So like right here, I can see 2 points. The shorter distance is called the minor arc. And then the longer distance between those 2 points is called the major arc. Now arc lengths could, not arc lengths, but the degrees of an arc can be measured in degrees. And that's kind of what we're going to be based off today. And then for an inscribed angle, it's an angle with its vertex on the circle. So before we were on the vertex or in the center. Now, as you can see, this vertex is sitting on that circle. That's called an inscribed angle. And then a circumscribed angle is an angle formed by the intersection of two tangent lines. So you're outside the circle. So here we have two tangent lines, and that angle is outside the circle. It's a circumscribed angle. Now, some facts that we can help, or that can help us. A full circle is 360 degrees. This is always true. And a central angle and its intercepted minor arc have the same measure. So what does that mean? That means if we know the measure of a central angle, we know that measure of the arc as well. So if this is like x, then the arc right above it that is pointing to is also going to be x degrees. So for example 1, find the measure of angle GFH and arc GH. Let me go back a little bit. Arc GH, well, we know that this arc over here, this major arc, is 300 degrees because that's what it says. And I know the full circle is 360. So what I can do is I could do 360 minus the 300 they gave me. So that gives me 60 degrees left. That means this remaining portion from G to H is 60 degrees. And if this arc is 60 degrees, that means my central angle here is also 60 degrees. So GFH is 60 degrees for the angle, and arc GH is 60 degrees as well. Now for the other one, they said angle FOG is 95 degrees. So let's find angle FOG. So FOG. So it looks like this central angle is 95 degrees. Find angle FEG, FEG, and FD. FD, arc measure of FD is over here. All right, so with this one's a little bit different, and we're going to be talking about inscribed angles like right here, so we're kind of jumping ahead a little bit. So if I know that this is 95 degrees, that means this central angle over here is also going to be 95 degrees because it's opening up to this arc. Now, I also know that this section from here all the way over here is half of my circle. Why do I know that? Because it's part of this, it's like sectioned off by this diameter that goes through the center. So this is half my circle. Half of the circle is 180 degrees. So I could do 180 minus my 95, and 180 minus 95 is 85 degrees. That means FD is going to be 85 degrees. So right away, FD is 85. Okay. Now to get angle FEG, which is this inscribed angle over here, what we're actually going to be learning about in a second is that inscribed angle is half of my arc or my central angle. So what I could do is I could say angle FEG is half of the 95 degrees. And half of 95 degrees is just going to be, 95 divided by 2 is 47.5. So that's going to be 47.5 degrees for my FEG.